Jadív agus Gurmagad Akarja. In 2018, I had the honour of proposing Mary Lou McDonald as Uachtaráin Sinn Féin, and tonight I am again honoured to introduce her to you all as we gather to meet. In 2018, she outlined the need for Republicans to match our vision with our activism in the spirit of inclusiveness, to ensure that we give the message loud and clear to every citizen on this island that this nation belongs to you and this nation values you. Since Mary Lou McDonald has led Sinn Féin, so much has changed, with the pandemic, with the continued disastrous outworking of Brexit, and the conversation on Irish unity reaching new levels. We all live on a changing island, an island whose citizens are demanding a fairer and better deal. And for this, we require leadership. For this, we have leadership. We have a leader who is ready and waiting to implement real change and end the cosy relationship between parties who treat rights like privileges and take citizens for granted. The time for real change in Ireland is now. The time for Mary Lou McDonald is now. Akarja Mary Lou McDonald.
It's been a while, but it's great to be back with you all again here in my hometown. I missed you. COVID separated us and some of us got sick and many families lost a precious loved one. So to those families, we send our love and our sympathies. I want to thank everybody watching at home for your kindness, for your dedication to community, for being a good neighbour. It makes all the difference in our fight against COVID. We'll never forget those who show up for us when it counts. Our heroic frontline healthcare workers, our shop workers, bus drivers, truck drivers, carers, SNAs, teachers, all who tirelessly work to get us through. Sinn Féin in government would show up for you. Decent wages and working conditions, services and supports for every citizen, including mental health and disability provision, aren't luxuries. They are the basics, and we will deliver that. We meet in our capital city for our great Teacht Céile, a city rich in our revolutionary history, a history that we will never surrender to property developers or profiteers. Akarja, we will save Moore Street. Greetings to friends and supporters overseas. Solidarity to all struggling for equality and justice, for a free Palestine, for an end to the illegal occupation and annexation of Palestinian lands, for an end to the brutal blockade of Cuba. At home, we stand with the families affected by the mica and pyrite scandal. And we call again on government to end your nightmare, to deliver 100% redress. Nothing more or less will do. The pandemic exposed the broken system in a partitioned Ireland, politics for the few at the expense of the many, that brought a housing crisis and rip-off rents, overcrowded hospitals and record waiting lists, and a crushing cost of living. The writing is on the wall for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. They've been in government for far too long. Things were bad enough when these two parties pretended to oppose each other, but by God, things have gone to the dogs since the boys clubbed together. They have no answers to the big questions that affect your life. They are out of touch, out of ideas, and out of time. So, let's call time on their century-old stranglehold on power, their divisive politics of the haves and have-nots, their cynical politics that seeks to normalise a housing crisis. They say that change is impossible. We will never, ever accept that. We can fix housing and healthcare. We can build a fair and resilient economy in which businesses and workers rocked by COVID can recover. And friends, we can unite our country. To make this happen, we need a government that shows up for you. A government for the people, and a Taoiseach that puts you and your family first, now and always. So to those who have told me again and again to be sure to run enough candidates in the next Dáil election, I hear you loud and clear, because friends, the time for change is now. Politics and government is all about our people. That's the essence of the 1916 proclamation. And now our generation amplifies that vision through the things that are important to us: fairness, equality, kindness, community. An Ireland where you're not forced to put your life on hold or to give up on your aspirations. A society that defends you when you are at your weakest and encourages you when you're at your strongest. The appetite for change is growing, defying old divisions, building new common purpose. The people of Ireland are ready. We have a generation brimming with talent, ambition, and big ideas. We have everything we need to create a new Ireland. And we're in this together. We're here to get the job done, and Sinn Féin will not miss this moment. We are the party of change, leading change all across Ireland. Every big step change in Irish life has been made by ordinary citizens seizing the day. From the Easter Rising to Armagh Jail and the H-blocks of Long Kesh, Republicans have led heroically, selflessly in pursuit of the dream of freedom. Ordinary people making extraordinary change. From marriage equality to repeal of the Eighth, people have organised, agitated, persevered, and won. Ordinary people driving home change. You see, people define change. At the last election, you told us it's an Ireland that is stronger and fairer, where workers and families come first. Micheál Martin and Leo Varadkar couldn't stomach that. So they clubbed together to stop a government for change. Now, in truth, they can block change, they can delay change, but they can't stop it. And neither can the DUP. The Unionist electoral majority is gone, and the days of domination are over. Those who hanker for the past, who disrupt the present, and who threaten our future need to realise that there is no going back. This generation is moving on together. The DUP's boycott of North-South Ministerial Council meetings, their ongoing attempts to scupper the protocol, the electioneering and the showboating are attempts to block the change that so many people from all communities demand. Thug rialtas na Breataine gealtanas go mbeadh 8 gaeilge ann. Cathair an gealtanas sin a chur I Greek gan 1 mil eile. 8 gaeilge and abortion rights are rights long overdue, and they must be delivered. There can be no more delay. In the North, we're preparing for the next Assembly election. If Sinn Féin emerges as the largest party, we will nominate Michelle O'Neill as First Minister. The days of Fenians need not apply are over. The days of treating any citizen or group of citizens as less than or second class are gone, and good riddance to them. We need a First Minister, who will lead and who will truly represent and respect all. And the challenge for the DUP and political unionism is to respect the democratic decision of the people. And we commit to work with everyone to deliver good government and high-quality public services. To everyone who feels that the Ireland of today doesn't work for you, but who believes that the Ireland of tomorrow can, let me say this. I know that you've had it with governments that give tax breaks to millionaire executives while homeless children eat their dinner off cardboard on the street. Governments for the developers and bankers, for the cosy club and the insiders. It's now time for a government for you and for your family that puts workers and families first. And Sinn Féin will deliver that government for the people. We want to lead that government. And I want to lead as Taoiseach if you give us that chance. Rialtas a tusnín ag an tús le plán chun a rudaí bunúsach all ceart, agus le fís ulmhíneach don todhchaí. Rialtas a churas deireadh leis an gharcéim tithíochta, atá chun chóras sláinte ile éireann a thógáil, atá chun dulinn lic leis an ghaircéim maidir le custasaí marachtála, agus atá cínse go bhfuil an ceart agat éirí as pension státe ag 65 bliain d'aois. Our government would start at the start with a plan to get the basics right in the here and now, but with an ambitious vision for your future. A government that would end the housing crisis, build an all-Ireland health service, tackle the cost of living crisis, and guarantee your right to retire on a full state pension at the age of 65. A secure roof over your head, a place to call home, is a basic right. That's why our Communities Minister in the North, Deirdre Hargey, has delivered the biggest transformational housing plan in a generation. We will tackle the scourge of homelessness. Sinn Féin will build public and affordable housing that is affordable on a massive scale, so young people, workers and families on average incomes can afford a home. And we'll stand up for struggling renters by cutting rents, by banning rent increases for 3 years, and by strengthening tenants' rights to put an end to illegal and forceful evictions. And friends, know this: we will put manners on the vultures, on the investors, on the cuckoo funds. No more sweetheart tax deals gifted to them by their pals in Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. Our health service must work for everyone, for patients and for our healthcare workers. We need a plan for our healthcare workforce. We need more nurses, more doctors, more therapists. The expansion at Magee University in Derry is a good start, but it is only that. Our student nurses and midwives deserve to be recognised and rewarded, and we again call on government to do right by them. We need to get to grips with record waiting lists. That means more beds, recruiting more staff, additional theatre and diagnostic capacity. The right to healthcare is a fundamental value of the Irish people, and that is what we will deliver. The cost of living, as you know, is out of control. Families are under huge pressure just to meet the bills. We've seen 31 energy price hikes this year, and that means real hardship. Older people in particular will suffer. The government increase in carbon tax will push bills up further, push more families into poverty. It won't change behaviour or reduce emissions, but it will make life harder. So government should scrap these carbon tax hikes immediately. Childcare costs for many families are the equivalent of a second mortgage. These costs must come down substantially and quickly. Sinn Féin will cut fees by 2/3 over 2 years of government and improve the pay and conditions of childcare workers. You know, we have led the way in challenging sky-high insurance costs, mortgage costs and rents. Families and workers shouldn't be ripped off, and we won't stand for it, quite simply. Everyone has a right to feel safe in your home, on your street and in your community. You also have a right to know that those who rob you of that will be brought to justice. Criminal gangs bring misery and create real fear. To stop people standing up to them, to shut people up, we need to put an end to that. So our Gardaí must be fully resourced and supported and held accountable in their service to the community. And this is true also of our courts and our judiciary. And that's why, at this Ordesh, Sinn Féin has adopted a policy to give courts powers to tackle these gangs, to replace 80-year-old emergency powers with fit-for-purpose, modern provisions, including the option of non-jury courts in exceptional circumstances. I want to salute the working people of Ireland of all ages and all generations. Sinn Féin in government will restore your right to retire at 65 with a state pension. At 65, you've paid your dues, and this really is a matter of basic decency and respect. The government claim we can't afford decency. Their priority? Tax breaks for gold-plated pensions. Our priority? Ordinary people having worked a lifetime, not having to work on and having the right to retire at 65. The climate crisis is with us now, and we need real action. Everyone must play their part, but we need more than individual actions. The truth is that the state must lead, as states across the world have in dealing with the pandemic. That means incentivising people to make changes to reduce their emissions. It means taking on the large corporate polluters. It means investment in public transport and protecting our coastal communities. It also means supporting family farmers as they move to more sustainable food production. Climate action and social justice must go together, hand in hand, to make people's lives better and more secure. Friends, the partition of Ireland was a catastrophe, and attempts to dress it up as anything other than a violent division of our people by force are wrong. It caused generations of conflict and injustice, and it's not history. We live with it today. It's why our people in the north suffer Tory austerity. That is the price of partition, and this is the time to end partition, not to celebrate it. The Tory government seeks amnesty for perpetrators of British state violence in Ireland. Shame on them. Boris Johnson, there is no support in Ireland or internationally for your amnesty. We stand with families who fight for justice and truth. The most powerful force in the world is an idea whose time has come, and it's time for Irish unity. Planning and preparation must start now. Sinn Féin will commence a people's conversation from January next, and we want to hear from everyone. The onus is on government to prepare for referendums and reunification. A citizens' assembly is urgent. A responsible government would establish it immediately. That's what Sinn Féin will do in government. Friends, I'm very proud to lead this party. I'm proud of our team leading change across Ireland. I'm proud of all of you because activism is everything. That motivation to make our country better, that's a powerful thing. But most of all, I'm proud of the people we represent, the ordinary people of Ireland, workers and families whose corner we will always have. We will never, ever let them down. And we are here to build a new and united Ireland in our time. The cynics and the critics say it can't be done. Well, they are wrong. They are stuck in yesterday, and we strive for tomorrow. Those of us who desire change have to work harder, be more determined and more united than ever. But there is no limit to what we can achieve when we work together and for each other. So let's do this, because this is the moment. This is our moment. This is the time. This is our time. Let's change Ireland. Let's unite Ireland together and for each other. Gurumila Mahagav is on Fobla Abu. Agus nish, Aaron Naveen. Ella will sing Aaron Naveen for us, so be upstanding.
Shin the fall at off we galegeren Buin bar slew our team the ronicun Flevoid vesir Shantir our shin fasta Ni og fy'n tiron o fy'n troll Anog bagin syfar na bwyl Legian gwyl con bos nw sil Legan hi sgrec Fwylog na biler Shalif canig Aron a fi